Dave from the Redneck Garage. Well, I couldn't outrun the rain. It's still drizzly and rainy, and I'm trying to get this painting stinking finished. I got everything polished except for the parts that I have to paint, which is the two fenders and the one side, and I'm hoping to get that done as soon as I get a little break in the weather. So let's take a look at that. So I thought I'd try to show you what I was talking about when I said modeling or bunched up or whatever, and it's really not that pronounced. I've already wet sanded this down ready for paint, but if you can see right here, you can see kind of like looking whitish specks right in this area, and everything else looked really good except for these little white specks, and it was a trip. None of this showed up till I started wet sanding, but you can see that those white specks right in there, and a little bit right in here, and it was fine until it was wet sanded, and then once it was wet sanded, then it showed up, which is crazy. Yesterday I buffed out the doors and all the other parts to make sure that there was no issues with them, and they look good. So there you go. I've got the fenders wet sanded down ready for paint. Alright, so I got a new mask that I'm going to wear because these things are only good for a month or two, and then the charcoal wears out, and then it doesn't absorb any of the fumes from the clear coat. So I'm going to go ahead and get that ready too before we paint. Alright, the repaint's going pretty well. The spots are pretty much gone for the most part. This is just one light coat. Not seeing it over here. Awesome. The funny thing is I can still see a little bit coming through right here, so I'm going to let this dry real well and hit it with 400 and then paint over it again. The one down below is covered up, but this just seems to be, man, I'm telling you, it just seems to be coming right back up through, and I have sanded and sanded on that. I didn't take it down to bare metal, but I've sanded on it, so it shouldn't be coming up like that. I don't know what it is, but we'll sand it down a little bit and then we'll shoot a little more color. Well, I'm hoping this is the last of the painting. It looks good. I got one little run in the back, and most of that would be covered by the fender flare, so it should wet sand and buff as long as the clear coat's clear and the blue is blue. But it looks really good. So that's the last of the stuff I have to repaint. Everything else has been buffed or reshot. So awesome. Woo! Randy's here!
Yeah.
He just drove in from Michigan. Where all the Yankees live.
Not all of them.
Well, everybody up there's a Yankee, by the way. FYI, just, you know, hello.
Yeah.
And don't buy a Jeep from up there.
Right.
Right.
I should have taken pictures of all the rust on all the trucks and cars.
I bought one.
Cancer.
Alright, so we got it all painted, and it looks really good. I'm just not gonna say anything and jinx it, but the gloss level is really good. I got minimal orange peel, you can kind of see across there. It should buff out really nice. This side, I got one run right here, but your fender flare comes up to here, so I don't really care that much. But there you go, man. It's all cleared. There's no white splotches in there, and I had a hard time right in this area, but it after I sprayed some color sanded, and then cleared it out, it looks good. So we're good to go, baby. Alright, so I'm cleaning up my gun, and we can pretty much put a fork in the painting videos. It was really kind of a strange deal that I had these little spots. Not the whole paint job, but just spots themselves, and I almost feel like You know, at one point I thought it was like the clear coat because it had too much hardener in it. But I've mixed it up hot before and never had an issue. And I'm not really sure what it is. Some contamination on the surface, but it was cleaned really well, Scotch-Brited. And it was only in those little spots. So I'm clueless on that. I can say this is that if you use a solid color, you have far less problems with what I dealt with. If I had used a solid color and not this real heavy metallic paint, I wouldn't have had as many problems. I can tell you that, because solid colors don't separate out that much. Once you got your base on, you cover it over and you're done. With metallics, you got to worry about dispersion of the metallic flakes and all that stuff. But I've never had it do something like that. But anyway, it looks great. Got everything repainted. It's ready to be buffed, and we're going to be working on the bed liner, and that's going to be the next videos that we're doing here on the Redneck Garage. Getting parts still in. I've got a wiring kit for the hard top. Been working on some hinges, so hopefully as soon as we get that bed liner in, you're going to see a lot of progress as far as the truck's starting to come back together, and that's pretty exciting to me. Oh, it's about time for beer. I'm going to go in and rest a little bit. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.